We're going to stay with some of these racist policies that the governor has been putting in place. Governor Ron DeSantis, aided and abetted by his supermajority in the legislature. The NAACP and other groups have already issued travel advisories for the state of Florida for the insensitive, discriminatory, and racist policies being promoted by Governor Ron DeSantis and his allies. But this week, one of the oldest black fraternities, I think it's the second oldest black fraternity coming out of Indiana University, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, is holding its annual conference in Tampa, Florida. Brother Brown, they're near you, and they're joining the coalition of organizations in solidarity against those policies. Joining us from Tampa is Reuben A. Shelton III, the 34th International Grand Polemarch of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Welcome to Roland Martin Unfiltered, Polemarch Shelton. How's it going down there in Florida, man? Y'all staying cool?
It's raining like crazy.
Oh no, are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm looking out a window right now and it's pouring down, but we're good.
That's all right. The nukes can't be stopped. At least that's been my experience with y'all, man. So correct. Tell us what's going on. You have called for some action, and I'm sure your fraternity brother and one of the great influences on me and so many others, untold others, the great LaRon Bennett Jr. is smiling from the ancestral realm when he knows what the stances you all take. Walk us through what's going on down there and how you all are approaching fighting back.
Well, it was just important that we send a message today, that we have a press conference to the public, to our members at large, that we want to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters down here in the Tampa area. They're going through something right now, and they need all the help that we can possibly give. We're part of the D9 organization, and as part of the D9, we always have this phrase that says we're better together. And as an organization, the National Panhellenic Council, we have gotten together to show our support for what is going on with our brothers and sisters down here in Tampa. But because the Kappas are in town today, we wanted to make sure that we as an organization made it very, very clear that we don't like what's going on, and we want to help. We want to help the people in Tampa and the people in Florida, fight these horrendous actions by the governor. Absolutely.
I want to go to our panel so we can get some folk in the conversation, including somebody that's not too far from where you all are right now. Dr. Brown, particularly given what's going on with the advanced placement course, we've seen some of that here in the District of Columbia area. Some of the teachers who are going to teach next fall were actually here last week for the College Board's intensive to really grapple with the case. Any questions you have for Polemarch Shelton as we're thinking about what the stand that Kappa has taken?
Yeah, well, first I just want to welcome Kappa Alpha Psi to Tampa. I'm a proud member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and I know our grand boss Ricky Lewis was down here. But I think it's great how these organizations are lending their support and making it clear of where they stand and what expectations they have. I think it's important to do that for a number of reasons. One, I think it really does tell the local folks that they're not alone. The head of the Florida Democratic Party, whatnot, she said previously that that this is ground zero, and it certainly feels like it. It feels like everything is happening here first, and then other states are picking up on that and running with it and taking it to their own states. And so for folks to come down here and show their displeasure with what's going on speaks volumes as it pertains to how we view or how we believe we're being viewed by the rest of the country. Oftentimes, sometimes a lot of people that I talk to here feel as though they're being forgotten about, that no one really cares what's going on in Florida, or they just write Florida off. But the fact of the matter is that many people are watching and many people are concerned and want to show that concern.
Exactly. And we have partnered with the local NAACP chapter here. We've also partnered with the Urban League, the local Urban League office down here. We've got the incoming president of the National Bar Association, who is also a Kappa. He's here, and he was part of the press conference, as well as Brother John Jacob, who's a longtime Kappa member and a former president of the National Urban League. He was also a part of the conference. And so we made our displeasure very clear. And we have offered our support, not only our political support, but our financial support to the local organizations down here to help them fight these horrendous acts.
Thank you, Polemarch. Shelton. Reese, we often joke and hear, certainly on the show, as we've had our conversations about everybody gathering, the social gatherings, the Essence Fest, and all. I wonder if you have any questions for Polemarch Shelton as he reminds us that these organizations were not started as social organizations, but anyway, please, and get out of your way and so y'all can have a conversation.
Thank you, Polemarch Shelton, for being here. My question is, how have you incorporated civic engagement into your conference this time around? Protesting is obviously great, but then people go back home and they need to be engaged. You have educated, you have successful brothers who are going back home and could make a difference in their community. So has that played a role in your conclave this time?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have very strong, successful brothers right here in Florida, and right here in the Tampa area. Brother Les Miller was the longtime chairman of the Tampa City Council, and we're not just talking the talk and then going home. Again, we're also going to support financially and politically, but we've got strong chapters here in Florida, Orlando, Miami. Here in Tampa, Fort Myers. I mean, we're all over the state of Florida, and we are committed through our local chapters to do whatever it takes to help fight these actions. And the local chapters will have the full support of the grand chapter and all of our chapters over the world, and we are literally all over the world. But I mean, we're engaged in this. And I told my brothers today that we're not just paying lip service. We're not just doing this as a photo op or a media hype. This is something that we are totally committed to because, as Brother John Jacob said today, it's happening in Florida. But tomorrow it could be in Missouri, where I live, or in Philadelphia, where or Pennsylvania, where our international headquarters is situated. So, you got to fight it now, and we are totally into this, and we are totally dedicated to doing just that.
Absolutely. I lived in Philly for almost 20 years, Polemarch Shelton, and many a day I passed by the national headquarters there in North Philly on Broad Street, and I think about all the money that you have raised and invested in our young people with scholarships, and for folk who think Greek-led organizations aren't important. There's a reason why Ketanji Brown Jackson was sworn into Delta today, brother. We're far from irrelevant these days, and I say that as a son of Alpha. But Alpha and Kappa, of course, on historically white colleges, but Kappa Alpha Psi is setting an example for all the rest of us in the D9. So thank you for joining us and for taking just a minute out of your time. This is Reuben A. Shelton III, of course, the 34th International Grand Polemarch of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, currently meeting to his 20,000 or so of that 250,000 that are worldwide in Tampa, although it's raining. So thank you for taking a moment to join us, Polemarch Shelton.
Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it.